Hello everyone, SuperMix37 here. In today's video, we're going to be taking a break from our LEGO City project, and we're going to work on another part of the LEGO room, which is going to be our bookshelves that are going to go down this wall. So now, unfortunately, we do not have all of the bookshelves yet, but I do want to go ahead and get the bookshelves that I have placed over here, so we can kind of get an idea of our display solutions for this new LEGO room. But before we get started, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe down below for more, as our support is very much appreciated. So now let's get started. And the first step is going to be going ahead and clearing out this wall, getting these folding tables, that chair, these boxes, getting all of this out of the way just so we have a nice clean slate to work with. And I think we're going to start down in that corner and work our way this way. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this all cleaned up and then start placing bookshelves. Alright, so now we have a bit of a blank canvas to work with. And one of the big things that we need to take care of is making sure we have access to this outlet. So what I believe I'm going to do is take this cubby shelf that's right back here and place the open cubby over the outlet. So we'll go ahead and start with that, and then I think we're going to start putting some bookshelves in this corner just to see how the spacing lines up. Alright, here's a little progress update for you. We got the two big white bookshelves put into the corner. I did unfortunately have to push them off the wall a little bit just because of the way this stud interacts with the back of the cabinet. So this is actually as far back as I can get it without having that 1.5 inch gap in between the shelves, which didn't really think would look very good. But then I went to place the cubby cabinet, over where the outlet is, and I just couldn't quite get the spacing right. There ended up being a pretty sizable gap between the cubbies and the bookshelves, but not big enough to where I could fit that. So I thought, why not put a little bit of a build table or even a display table for maybe a big Hogwarts display or something like that over here. So then I also thought, well, if we have this table here, you'll be able to see that gap behind the bookshelves into the wall. So I had these little plastic cubby shelves that are completely modular. Each one of these walls is a separate piece. You could have it be a totally different shape if you wanted it to be. And I've got a ton extra. So I decided to just make a tower of them. And the best part about these shelves is that a base plate will actually fit in here. So I could have a base plate of minifigures displayed on here, or a small little mock, or even some smaller sets down in here. So the possibilities with these are kind of endless, and I really like these shelves. They don't look the best because they are a cheap, flexible plastic, and you can see there's gaps in them just because of the way you have to put it together. But overall, I think it does look really good. And the only thing I'm not decided on is having this table here, because I do need access to that outlet. So my options are either have this table here, or put the cubby over there and have a slight gap in between the cubbies and that cabinet there, or those cubbies there rather. So let me know down below what you guys think about that and which option you would prefer. I think for now I'm going to keep the table there because I do have an idea to do a massive Hogwarts display, and we'd have to have a larger area like this to do it. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do now is build another one of those to stick it on the other side of the table just for symmetry purposes, and then stick the cubby cabinet on the other side of that. And that'll be all the shelves we have. And then we can actually go ahead and work over here. And this is going to be my primary build area where I'm going to have my part storage, my build table, all of that kind of stuff is going to be right over in this area. So let's go ahead and finish off what we have for this wall so far, and then we'll work over there. Alright, we got the cubby tower built on the other side of this desk, and we also just went ahead and put that little 9 cubby cabinet there. I do believe that one's going to get pushed down next to the city because it is shorter than the city tables, and then I'll fill in the gap between that black cabinet and that white cabinet with more of these bookshelves. So yeah, and then over for this area, I did just set up a small table for now with a office chair, just so I had somewhere to work. But over in this corner, I'm planning on having a part storage area, possibly a table extending all the way from that wall to there if I can find one long enough, and then having part storage on that wall, and having a nice large build area or mock area, depending on if I want to make this a mock area or this a mock area. For the final part of this video, I think we're going to go ahead and get some sets out and start putting some on the bookshelf, both in these little cubbies, possibly that one, not sure since I know that one's going to move. But yeah, let's go ahead and get some sets out, and I think I'm going to focus mainly on LEGO Star Wars for today. Well, it's been a few days since the last clip, but I did go ahead and put a whole bunch of sets on the bookshelves, but I moved the bookshelves. They were down there in that corner, and now they're over here next to the white cubby, which I did space the white cubby off the wall. So you can see there's a pretty big gap down in there, but I'm thinking about getting a tabletop and pushing it back against that stud and make a bigger display space there. But we have run into a bit of a hiccup where the bookshelves that I've been getting are currently out of stock, and I don't know when they're going to come back in stock. So our options are to either use a different type of bookshelf and have it not look the same all the way down, or we hold off on the shelves for now and we continue working on the city, which is I think what I'm going to be doing, at least for right now. So yeah, but I can go and go over the display. This may end up changing once we get more bookshelves, but I'm pretty happy with the way it is right now. Up top, we have all of our helmets, at least all the Star Wars helmets. The Marvel ones are going to be separate, plus a few other smaller sets like the Death Star promo, just because it fit in that awkward space between the shelf and the stud. Then we also got the probe droid and the big BB-8 over here, which are both really awesome sets and look really good up on top of the shelf. Then next up we have a bit of a bounty hunter section, where we have the Jabba's Palace, Boba Fett Slave One, Shin Hades Starfighter, Boba Fett mech, a bunch of Mandalorian sets and speeder bikes. Then down here we have the Razor Crest, we have Bo-Katan's ship, and a bunch of other sets from the Mandalorian and the Clone Wars bounty hunter ship. Then next up we have the Rebellion stuff. So we have our E-Wing, X-Wing, A-Wing, Ghost, and the Phantom 1, Phantom 2, a little Snowspeeder Microfighter in the 4 Plus Snowspeeder, a mock combat land speeder from Battlefront 2, and then we have the Resistance Y-Wing Microfighter as well. And next up we have our Imperial stuff, so we have our TIE Fighter, TIE Advanced, and then a TIE Interceptor mock, Imperial V-Wing, and then we have a custom Imperial gunship that I've had forever, and then the little drop ship from the battle pack. Then we have the Inquisitor ship. Then on the final shelf, we have the Convey-X and a whole bunch of other smaller Imperial stuff, along with the AT-AT. Moving up to the next shelf, we've got a bunch of Republic ships. So we have the Bad Batch shuttle, a bunch of Jedi Starfighters, and the ARC 170 up there at an angle. I really like how I was able to get that to fit. It's using a little clear cup and then a pick-a-brick cup, actually, to get it to rest at that perfect angle. It gives it a really nice position. Then the next shelf, we have a bunch more smaller clone vehicles. So we got some speeder bikes, a few turrets, some command stations. And then down here, we have the ATTE. And we have some 501st ATRT walkers. Got a dropship. That's an alternate build of the 2020 dropship. Then I believe that or 2020 fighter tank rather. And I believe that fighter tank is from 2016. Then we have another alternate build of a 501st fighter tank. Then we have our Separatist shelf. So we have a Republic Bricks Vulture Droid, 1999 Vulture Droid, a couple of different droid carriers, Count Dooku speeder, Maul speeder, an AAT, alternate build of an AAT, and then a few other smaller builds from battle packs and stuff like that. Then final shelf is just a miscellaneous stuff right now. Got the U-Wing, Hoth Medical Chamber, the Boga, just some random stuff down there. That shelf definitely isn't final. But then over here on the cubby cabinet, it's a mess. Just random sets piled in there as we were unpacking boxes. So, not even going to go over that because it's just a jumbled mess right now. But it'll be cleaned up. Hopefully, maybe not the next video, but whenever we get the bookshelves in so we can move some of that stuff off. But speaking of the next video, we are going to continue work on the city. And I'm actually going to be cutting down base plates and getting the majority of this downtown area done, I believe. Once we get the base plates cut, we can just start placing buildings in, and then we can see how it looks. So yeah, that's going to be all for this video. Thank you all for watching. Superbricks37, signing off.